In a world full of noise, two voices rise above the chaos. Ron and Brian. They speak truth. They stir thought. They accidentally help. News, nonsense, and necessary self-care. Join the cult of Ron and Brian. Because the work is so important.
All right, here we are again. It is a Sunday night, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and it is time for episode 373 of the Cult of Ron and Brian podcast. I am joined, as always, with my good friend Brian. Brian, how the hell are you this evening?
Honestly, I'm not gonna, pretend. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not gonna, put honor, self-respect. I've missed you. I'm just gonna put my cards on the table.
Sure.
I'm gonna be transparent. I'm going to accept whatever society judges me or holds me accountable for. But I have missed you terribly.
Well, we were dark for a week. We did a couple of pre-recorded episodes. People mentioned that. We are back live tonight. What a lot of people don't always remember about Brian is what a huge Swiftie he is. And so he had spent the last few weeks traveling around the country, going to various movie theaters to watch the album release movie for Life of a Showgirl. So he could be out there with his people, exchanging friendship bracelets, all of that. But now, have you gotten that out of your system, Brian? Are you back and ready to do a podcast again?
Absolutely. I'm going to say this to you. Like when you've watched Showgirls, like the number of times I have over the past couple weeks, you understand that it is perhaps the finest performance that Gina Gershon has given on the silver screen. You will understand that this is Elizabeth Berkley's breakout role. Kyle MacLachlan.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Taylor Swift album, Life of a Showgirl.
Taylor Swift has a movie out?
She does, yes.
Oh my God, I've been watching Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley all across this country. I mean, it is the number of times I've spent like an
shocking that you found that many movie theaters that it was still playing in.
Ron, America holds on to its treasures. We respect history. That is a groundbreaking movie.
I will say, I think you're fortunate enough to not have had to listen to the Taylor Swift album repeatedly over the past few weeks in your house.
Ron, I have not listened to it once. In the period of time since we last recorded an episode, Taylor Swift came out with an album. We were not expecting it. We knew she was going to come out with something at some point. Drops this album. And from what I have seen on social media, at least in my algorithm, it has mixed reviews. There's a lot of people that are worshiping it, but I don't see the same level of accolades that I saw for her last album. A lot of people, this is not the Taylor Swift that they were thinking. What was your experience listening to it the first time and all the way through the 28th time?
It gets catchier as you listen to it. Maybe it doesn't have the lyrical depth of Tortured Poets Department. But my main gripe with it is the song that everybody's talking about, track 9, Wood, which apparently people are saying is about Travis Kelce's manhood. What upsets me is how many songs over the years have you and I written about each other's penises that have not gotten this amount of traction? I think the one that was the highest received was when I wrote Brian's a grower, not a shower, and that peaked at 324 on the Billboard Hot 100. But it's upsetting to me. It's honestly upsetting that the lack of respect into our.
But if I can come back to you, sometimes you cannot trust the Billboard charts. When I came out with the song titled "The Tree of the Life Juice," I thought that got a lot of critical acclaim, though it was never embraced by the public.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone wrote that it was a powerful force, but it wasn't for the masses.
No.
Much
Well,
like your penis.
very true. Very true. Hey-o. Well, in the meantime, let's get rolling. Now that we're live, now that we're back, let's do what we always do and get started with Drink of the Week.
Drink of the week.
Na zdrowie!
Salud.
Drink of the week.
Sláinte.
Prost.
Drink of the week. Drink of the week. Drink of the week. Drink of the week.
So, Brian, what, my friend, are you drinking this week?
This week, we want to thank, or at least I want to thank, the nice people over at the Vale Brewing Company. Can you see this can right here? This is the Never Gonna Get It Ghost. Ghost, is that the way you pronounce it? G-O-S-E?
I believe so. That's
So
how
this is the Never Gonna Get It Ghost beer from the Vale Brewing Company. Let me show you what this looks like, because you're going to cream your pants, Ron. Here we go. Let me hold this up, face forward. Look at this beautiful color. You're looking at this being like, walk me through the fruit profile, because this is heavily fruited.
It looks heavily fruited.
With raspberry, boysenberry, blackberry. This viscous ghost pours a deeply magenta color. It's a fruit explosion on the nose that picks up notes of mixed berry pie, blackberry preserves, and a juicy peak harvest raspberry, boasting an incredibly velvety mouthfeel with a touch of salinity from the sea salt addition. Never Gonna Get It washes off the palate with balanced acidity. The fine folks over at Beer Advocate give it a score of 92, coming in at 4.9% ABV. Ron, this is Never Gonna Get It from the Vale Brewing Company.
Take a sip. Let me know how it is. It sounds like it should be delicious. Did you just make in your pants? Mother, this beer is so good.
Mother, are you drinking beer? Ron, that's just delicious. It's everything they said it was.
All right.
You do get a hint of salt, but the star of the show here is that fruit punch that is going to kick in. Not a very high ABV, coming in at 4.9, but I'm going to tell you something. I bought a 4-pack of this, and I'm going to drink all of them. Also, I'm going to throw in the fact that while you're talking, I'm going to sneak in a shot. We still have some of these limited edition Ron and Brian podcast shot glasses. Only have a few left in the web store. OG. Yeah. If you don't have them in your house and you're not using them, go check our web store. We saw Crown Royal Chocolate.
Ooh.
I don't
know
about it.
I don't know how I feel about the chocolate flavor with it. I mean, listen, take
Hold on. Let me cleanse the palate. Let me cleanse the palate a bit.
All right.
And now I'm going to take a sip.
All right.
Crown Royal Chocolate.
All right. Take a shot. You look perplexed, though.
It's not bad. It's not as good as the blackberry or the vanilla. Better than the sweet, better than the sea salt caramel one that I had. This is actually decent. I will drink this.
Maybe you mix that with a little Grand Marnier and you get like a little orange chocolate action going.
Which reminds me, that was your nickname at the gay bars in Albany. You were orange chocolate when you were back in college. No, correct?
I don't remember. It's yeah, and I agree. Do the whole shot, pussy. Don't sip it. You're doing a little. Should have your pinky.
I've always sipped my liqueurs during the show. Ron, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can, sir.
Ron?
Yes.
What are you drinking?
So, friend of the podcast, moderator Marty, was out drinking beers the other week. She grabbed one she thought I would like. It's from the good folks out in Allentown, PA, Brew Daddy's Brewing. This is their Pastry Fiend Key Lime Pie beer. This is a sour ale with key lime and vanilla. It is clocking in at a solid 7.3% alcohol. So it's going to have a little bit of a kick to it. Nice hue to that beer.
That
Let's
is
see how
nice.
the
Pretty.
flavor is.
That is almost pretty as the moderator buying you beers. I literally.
So I will say this: it is very tart. So you have to like a tart sour, which I believe that was your nickname in the bathhouses back in Albany. But delicious. 100% would drink again. I'm gonna have another sip real quick.
Take another sip, and then I want to hear, what are you experiencing? What are the flavors? What's the profile? What's prominent? What's subtle? What do you got?
You're getting a ton of lime there. You're getting a little bit of vanilla note at the back, but it's incredibly smooth. It's incredibly tart. I would give this a 9.3 out of 10.
Remember, Ron.
Sip.
One
Everybody
sip.
knows the rules.
Everybody knows the rules. One sip.
Oh boy. Now these drinks.
Oh God, I miss this. I've missed this so much, Ron. I have missed this so much. Let's keep going.
It's time for Beef of the Week.
Ron and Brian's Beef of the Week.
Brian, I know it's been a while, but what's bothering you this week?
America, Ron. America. I'm going to tell you something. As astute followers of the show understand, people who follow our social media, they know that I spent the past 2+ weeks traveling the Northeast with the hard rock band Life of Agony and Junkyard Saletti. By the way, Junkyard Saletti, do the shot hole. Yeah, pussy. Anyway, traveling. So the states we hit, they were celebrating their 30th anniversary of their album Ugly. The states that we visited: Pennsylvania, not in this order: Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. I feel like I'm leaving one out, but it's probably not an important one.
Did you mention Ohio?
I did mention Ohio. We did a couple shows in Ohio: Cleveland, Columbus. We had Joliet, Illinois, Flint, Michigan, whatnot. So we headed west for about a week and a half before coming back. And I'm going to just say this: Jesus Christ, America is done. The America that you and I experience on the coast, like, we've talked about it for years.
Sure.
However, the stark reality, I know you do a significant amount of travel for work. I don't. I'll basically travel, to my office in New York, office upstate in White Plains, whatnot. But I don't really travel, overnight trips and whatnot. You do, Ron. So you see this a lot more often than I do. But over the past 2 weeks, I was out in America, away from what I would describe as the East Coast. I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that was recognized is, America, we're done. There is, once you get away from the educated coast, you start dealing with a undereducated populace. You start dealing with a lack of economic productivity, production,
Right.
however you want to call it. From that perspective, you start dealing with people who basically don't have the opportunities to move up in a social class. You see a lot of neck beards. You see a lot of beards that grow from the chin directly into the neck beard. It's just a wasteland out there. And I understand if you're living in those states right now, you might turn off this show. Well, I might be hurting our overall ratings. But you want to know something? It's about accepting who we are and embracing it. But the America we talk about, the people that say, make America great again, you suddenly do realize how we end up in the current political economic state that we find ourselves in as a country. Sure. You're talking about entire states, entire areas where time has just passed them over. Working at truck stops, Denny's, Cracker Barrel, like, this is
Waffle
what they
House.
have to look for. Waffle House. They work there. They go home. They may drink, they may smoke, a little meth, and then repeat. There is no worldview. There is no, I care about the migrants that are coming over. What's going on in NATO? It is just a fucking wasteland. And that's America. And that's my beef of the week.
Fair enough. I feel your pain and I sympathize with you.
Ron, what's bothering you?
So for me this week, my issue is with the new speed limit cameras that they have put on Broad Street in Philadelphia. Broad Street, a great street, one of the best streets out there, people are saying. It runs from Northeast Philadelphia straight down through the city, all the way down to the sports complex. And listen, it's a posted 25-mile-an-hour speed limit for most of the stretch. But we all know what that really means. Yeah, if there's not pedestrians and if the lights are going, you can get up around 45, 55, 80, whatever it is. Now they have put these speed limit cameras on, and you get a 10-mile-an-hour buffer, apparently. Like if you hit 36 going through one of these cameras, they're going to send you a ticket. And I normally will take Broad Street home when I'm down in the city in certain areas because it's easier than the highways and everything else. I was on it yesterday and it was unbearable, Brian. People doing 34 miles an hour when we could have been doing 50 miles an hour plus. Great point by Dom. Just a money grab by the city of Philadelphia. That's my beef, Brian. It feels like we are in a police state. We are becoming a nanny state like the UK. I don't want to be watched while I'm speeding on city roads.
But Ron, you are the 51% owner of the podcast. You are the podcast champion with the belt over your shoulder. Are you just going to throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm not going to do anything about this?
Well, I have enlisted some lobbyists. You were kind enough to donate your proceeds of the merchandise sales from these past few months. So we're going to lobby. We're going to lobby Congress. We're going to lobby whoever you lobby. That's how little we lobby in the past. Is I'm not even sure who you lobby.
Sure. I would imagine it's the Philadelphia Department of Transportation, but that's okay if you've never heard of them.
Well, we have a Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. I don't know if Philadelphia does necessarily.
But if we're talking Broad Street, that's a road in the city. Are you saying the state controls city roads?
No, I'm saying we don't have I don't know that we have a DOT for Philadelphia. We barely.
No wonder your state is a third-class wasteland. You don't even have your own Department of Transportation. What a joke!
Is that? Did you get that out of your system? Does that make you feel better now? Does that make you feel like a man, Brian?
It makes me feel so much better, Ron.
All right, sounds good. Brian, it's been a long time since you've had an opportunity to do a story of the week. These are obviously the stories that we want to make sure we capture, we get out there, that we don't miss. Brian, what is your story of the week this week?
Ron, I have a question. What would you do if you won $1 million in a scratch-off lottery?
I'd probably pay down some bills. I'd probably make some investments, maybe go out for a nice meal. $1 million, it doesn't go as far as it used to these days.
That's a shame. Because if in England, Adam Lopez, age 39, went from having nearly $17 in his bank account to having over $1.3 million on hand after winning a scratch-off lottery ticket in July. Unfortunately, the British forklift driver who turned into a millionaire overnight suffered a life-threatening health scare after months of nonstop partying, forcing him to rethink his post-jackpot lifestyle. By September, only a few months after winning his jackpot, Lopez was in the back of an ambulance suffering from a bilateral pulmonary embolism, the news outlet reported. Quote, I knew what I was doing was going to come to an end eventually, and it nearly came to an end in the worst possible way. It was a massive wake-up call. The forklift driver turned millionaire recalled partying for the last 3 months, burning the candle at both ends after suddenly winning this life-changing prize. He was hospitalized in the Norfolk and Norwich University Hospital for 8.5 days, calling the ordeal a kick to the backside. It became apparent about after 3 weeks that he had a blood clot in his leg that eventually spread to his lungs. He couldn't walk, he couldn't breathe. He called for an ambulance and got wheeled into the hospital. And it was the biggest life-changing thing that he had as he was laying in the back of an ambulance. Ron, this is what we're saying. I know you want to believe that when you win the lottery, you could just go into your backyard and kill all the marsupials, all the four-legged creatures, just so you could expand marsupial. That's not a frog?
That is not a frog. No.
What is a marsupial? Oh, no, that's a monkey, right?
Possibly. I'm not familiar with the
Reptiles.
term. I know for sure it's not a frog.
Ron,
I think a frog is an amphibian.
Ron, you will kill all amphibians in your backyard because that's what makes you happy. Here we go. Jojo, the veterinarian, says they are amphibians. Ron, when you win the lottery, you're just going to slaughter all life forms in your backyard so that you can expand your private pool. Unfortunately, that's not the life that you're going to have. You need to do it better.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for that advice and for that story. Next up, my story of the week, Brian. We are going over to the UK to a 33-year-old man by the name of Nathan Remington, based in Yorkshire. Brian, you like Haribo gummy bears?
Who doesn't?
All right. Well, this man, Nathan, he ordered a 7-pound bag of Haribo gummies online. It's only 22 pounds, $22, 18 pounds over there. So he, and it was the cola flavored ones, which I don't know why you would order the cola flavored ones. So he basically ate a bunch of them, almost the entire bag over 3 days, and found out that that was a bad thing to do. He was in intense agony during the week. He couldn't even get out of bed, and he ended up in the hospital where doctors found that his blood pressure was off the charts and his stomach pain showed no signs of letting up. They initially thought he had food poisoning, but tests revealed high levels of gelatin in his system. He had overdosed on the very ingredient that makes gummy candies chewy. Gelatin, I didn't realize this, is the common culprit in diverticulitis, a condition in which small pouches form in the colon and become infected. Remington's extreme consumption triggered a painful flare-up of this condition, and doctors quickly treated him with IV fluids and pain management. So the lesson at the end of the day, Brian, everything in moderation. Don't eat 7 pounds of gummy bears, even cola ones, in 3 days.
Sure. I think that makes a lot of sense.
So as we are back, let's get back with some of our other standards. As people know, we are in the midst of the NFL season, so that can only mean one thing: NFL Locks of the Week.
Locks.
I have to say that was probably the number one thing people reached out to us about during our hiatus was our locks of the week. People were like, we rely on these to pay our bills, to win money, to buy groceries. We did test it out. We did make it available for our Platinum Patreon subscribers. We gave them access to our sexy locks of the week. That's where Brian and I, we send out Snapchats with our picks in various stages of undress. Some people liked it. Some people were disturbed. But regardless, Brian, you continued to remain perfect last week. You looked at that Pittsburgh-Cleveland matchup. You said it doesn't matter if the Browns are bringing Joe Flacco back. You said Pittsburgh -6.5. They covered easily, winning 23-9. And then you looked at the Chargers giving 3.5 to Miami. You said Miami, not good enough to win, but I think they're going to keep it close. And again, you were right. Chargers only winning by 2 points, 29-27, bringing you to a perfect 12-0 on the season.
Ron. as much as I would love to accept these accolades, I feel like it is hollow if we don't also point out that you, my friend, also went 2-0 in week 6. Rams playing the Ravens. The line was Rams -7. You scoffed at it. You said the Ravens are terrible this year. This is a Rams game. Rams not even scared by the Baltimore Ravens. Rams 17-3 final. You also said the Buccaneers of Tampa Bay laying 3.5 over the San Francisco 49ers in a 4 o'clock game. You said, I don't care if this game is over before we record the show on Sunday night because the Bucs are going to cover this one. And you are absolutely correct. Bucs winning 30-19. Once again, Ron, I have to sit here and eat humble pie in front of the masses as you go 2-0 again. You are undefeated for the season. How do you do it?
You know what? With God, all things are possible, Brian. So just jot that down and keep that in mind moving forward. What are your locks of the week for next week?
All right, my locks of the week, and I'm just going to say this: am I recommending that you liquidate all stock holdings, all of your crypto, and you put them on these two bets I'm about to say? No, but you want to know something? People who have in the past, just back on my track record, those people have retired. Those people no longer working. Those people independently wealthy based on these picks. I do not suggest that you do it for these two. However, people who have done it in the past.
Listen, even Dom saying Don paid his huge electric bill because of Brian's picks.
Here we go. The Tennessee Titans are trash this year. They are getting 6 points against the New England Patriots, who are surprising the league. They surprise no more because now we understand just how good New England is. Patriots -6. Take that bet also. The Dallas Cowboys have surprised with their durability, their sensibility, their reliability, but not in week 7. The Washington Commanders -2.5. If this team were still the Redskins, the line would be at least 6. However, with the Commanders, you lay the 2.5. Ron, what do you got in week 7?
I'll keep it simple. I like the Rams again this week. I like the Rams -3.5 at Jacksonville, and then Green Bay going on the road to Arizona. Green Bay -5.5. Loving that as well. Remember, folks, as we like to say, bet with your head, not over it. Since we're talking about football, Brian, should we give our special announcement that we were going to hold off? So as you may have heard, we've got Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Turning Point USA has decided to do some counter programming, have their own halftime show. Well, folks, there is only one halftime show that you're going to need to worry about, and that is the Cult of Ron and Brian halftime show.
February, while America worships at the altar of the Super Bowl, two men will lead a different kind of halftime ritual. No fireworks, no pop stars, just truth, whiskey, and sequins. Brought to you by brands that definitely don't exist, or maybe they do.
They've got Taylor Swift. We've got Truth. They've got Usher. We've got us. Skip the spectacle. Join the sermon.
The work! The work!
Skip the Super Bowl.
Join the cult.
That's right. The Cult of Ron and Brian halftime spectacular. Will it be more spectacular than the commercial we just put together? Possibly. We're still working on the lineup, and we'll give you more information as we get closer to that great day. I mean, I think, look, we took Johanna's breath away, I think, by the majesty of that commercial. But I'm excited. Anything to, and again, people will say, is this a money grab? We spent $1 million just on that commercial alone. So we're going to need to make that money back before we can even think about clearing any profit on this thing.
Profit. We don't profit on the show. Any dollar that comes into the show gets put back in to make the show better. That's just where we are. That's how we operate.
So again, since we've been gone, we haven't had a chance to do our celebrated bit, but the drag queens are the problem. As we continue to try and find some drag queens that are assaulting or abusing children. So Brian, do you think we'll be able to find, there's a bunch of stories this week. So do you think we'll be able to find any of them this week or not?
I want to say that we will, but the truth of the matter is there's absolutely no reason why we can't.
All right. Well, let's find out. Let's see if this first one is a drag queen. And no, unfortunately, this is a North New Jersey high school music and theater teacher who has been accused of sexually assaulting a teenage student over a prolonged stretch of time. This is Pequannock High School teacher William Arnold, age 53. He faces charges including first-degree aggravated sexual assault following an investigation launched last month after allegations of inappropriate behavior were reported by a fellow educator. Arnold, who is a married father of 3, sexually assaulted the female student on, quote, multiple occasions over the past year, according to the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. The alleged sexual abuse began when the girl was 15 years old and continued after she turned 16.
He looks like he has a needle dick.
Is that so?
Yeah. Long, but very thin, no girth whatsoever. Not able to please a woman.
All right. Let's see our next photo. Let's see. Is this going to be a drag queen? No, it is a 54-year-old Cantonment, Florida man charged with molesting a 5-year-old in Escambia County. John White was arrested back on August 26th on the charges of lewd and lascivious behavior involving molestation with a victim less than 12 and lewd and lascivious behavior exhibition victim less than 16. According to the arrest report, the victim said White molested her as well as pleasured himself in front of her. The report states that she added that he told her that not to tell anyone or else he would call 911. He is being held in Escambia County Jail on $1 million bond. Finally, a decent bond for these scumbags.
He looks like he's got short, not a very long penis, but he's got some girth.
His neckline, very similar to yours. I'm not saying anything.
Whoa. I think his neckline is more similar to yours.
All right. Well, we'll see. Next up, Brian, let's see if this next one is a drag queen.
Drag queen?
And no, this is a former Ohio middle school teacher who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing her daughter's teenage babysitter. Stephanie Erin Kellenberger was sentenced to 15 years behind bars for having a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old. She was a former English instructor at Shelby Middle School. She pled guilty to 4 counts of third-degree felony sexual battery and 17 counts of third-degree felony unlawful sexual contact. Prior to pleading guilty, she was presented with 2 options, either 12 years flat prison time or 15 years with the possibility of judicial release after 10 years, and she opted for the second option.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Let's see. Oh, this one's close by. This is in my county. This is in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
No way.
Kind of a liberal toehold.
Please.
Will this be a drag queen?
Please let this be a picture of you, Ron. Please. Yeah. How great.
Oh, sorry, Brian. This is Nick Fountaine, vice chair of the Skipack Township Board of Supervisors. He was arrested last month on charges of sexual solicitation and solicitation of child pornography. Then last week, while already in police custody, he was charged with sexual abuse of a child. The police criminal complaint stated that the victim reported that Fontaine, who was an adult, sexually assaulted them over the course of years when they were between the ages of 9 and 16 years old. In an interview with detectives, the criminal complaint said that Fontaine admitted to touching the victim, performing oral sex on the victim, and having the victim perform oral sex on him. Fontaine also admitted this happened on multiple occasions and that the last time it happened was just before the victim turned 16.
Gross.
Now, not only, Brian, to make this even more disgusting, not only is he a member of the Township Board of Supervisors, he also runs a pair of daycare facilities in the area. Yeah, so parents that take their children to the center have been asked to report ask their children if there's anything else that needs to be reported.
Ugh, fucking nasty. Fucking nasty, Pennsylvania.
So Brian, this is a little different, this next one, because normally we're talking about, adults doing
Did we find the drag queen?
We did not find a drag queen. This here, Brian, this is from Port Huron, Michigan. This is Jeffrey Smurrer. Now, while he is also dealing with being charged with exposing himself in public, he also was arrested after shooting 3 of his children. He killed his 17-year-old son, while 2 other siblings, a 13-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl, suffered critical injuries. So, in addition to the public exposure case, he is now facing charges of murder and attempted murder, along with child abuse.
Ugh, fuck him.
Not a drag queen just yet, Brian. Let's see. We got a few more here. We're still rolling along. Brian, yes or no? Is this next one going to be a drag queen?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, you are correct. This is the co-founder of a religious organization called Covenant Eyes. Excuse me. This is the stepson of the co-founder of Covenant Eyes, which is an anti-porn internet accountability software program.
Good for him. That's awesome. That's a great project.
So the entrepreneur named Ron DeHaas formed this company to protect his teenage stepsons from sexual temptation online. But this past August 13th, one of these stepsons was arrested as a meeting spot in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This photo is of his stepson, Thomas Weidman, age 38. He was going to this meeting spot because he thought he was going to find a 14-year-old girl interested in having sex with him. Unfortunately, he was actually conversing with a female detective who had been posing as a teenage girl online. And so he is arrested and is being charged with what is he being charged with? It doesn't say here exactly, but yeah, the girl detective clearly stated that she was a girl of the age of 14. He texted how he'd like to touch the girl, which included deep kissing, touching her breasts, and pushing his hips into her. Oof. It's really even grosser when they put the text messages in.
Ron, you just described the first time you and I did a live podcast. You deep kissed me.
But we were both of age, Brian. It's a little different.
It didn't matter. You touched my breast and you pushed your hips into mine.
Brian, let's go up to the capital region where you and I, we both went to college up there.
Of course.
Again, very liberal based on the area that a lot of students. Do you think this is going to be a drag queen or not?
I'm going to say no.
All right. Well, you are correct. This is a vice president of the Capital Region Chamber of Commerce, charged for allegedly attempting to lure a minor in for sex. And the Times Union site is horrible, so I can't scroll this up. But he apparently was reaching out to a minor. He allegedly wanted to hurt her with rough sexual abuse in his, quote, torture chamber.
No.
Yep.
Fucking, I swear, white men are the worst. White men are the worst.
We're up there. Now, this final one, Brian, we're going out to Phoenix, Arizona. Kind of a red state. It's a mix.
Sure.
Is this last one going to be a drag queen or not?
Ron, we've been doing this bit for about 3 years and we've never had a drag queen. Why do I believe this would be a drag queen now? No, there's no way this is a drag queen. This is a Christian ordained minister who is going to be charged with a crime for trying to stick his fingers inside of a 13-year-old daughter of a parishioner.
All right. Well, Brian, tonight we make Cult of Ron and Brian history as we have the first drag queen of this segment being charged for having sex with a 13-year-old boy. This is Michael Browder, who performs under the under the name Aubrey Galici. Was charged with 2 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor following a months-long investigation that began in June. Browder was one of 2 men who met the young teen for anonymous sex after hooking up on an online dating app. Police found messages on the teen's laptop that led to Browder, who officers recognized as a, quote, known Phoenix drag queen. Browder spoke with investigators on September 16th and allegedly confessed to having sex with the boy, but claimed it was so dark in the alleged victim's apartment, he was unable to ascertain the victim's age. He told cops he believed the 13-year-old was actually 18 or 19.
I'm just going to say it. That's a pretty good looking drag queen. I mean, I don't know if you want to comment on your thoughts on this photo, Ron, but that's a pretty good looking drag queen.
I'm not going to lie.
We have seen a lot of drag queens during this bit over the course of the year. And I'm going to say this. They have all been at least 275 pounds. This one causes me to rethink my sexuality.
All right. Well, you'll have to hold on to that thought because right now Browder is being held on a $10,000 secured appearance bond. If he does get released, he must wear an ankle monitor. You could bail him out.
For $1,000 with a bail bondsman, correct?
You could bail him out. If released, he must wear an ankle monitor, stay away from children, and is barred from possessing weapons or using drugs and alcohol. So it's a first, Brian.
Have you ever had sex with somebody wearing an ankle monitor?
I have not, no. Have you?
Would that turn you on? No. Would that turn you on or would that turn you off if you were taking somebody back to your house? Your wife is sleeping upstairs.
Well, I think that would be wrong to begin with.
You walk in the house, the person is, sitting there. It's Browder or whatever this person's name is, but they're wearing a little bit more clothes. You turn on the light, suddenly you realize they have an ankle monitor. Are you turned on? Or are you turned off?
I mean, I guess the question is, why do they have that ankle monitor? I would need a little bit more information to that.
So you would sit there, see the ankle monitor as they are spreading their cheeks apart, being like, please enter me, championship podcast daddy. And you're sitting there, erection just at 100%. And you would stop to be like, time out. Why do you have that ankle monitor?
I mean, these are the questions that are important to have, I would say.
And that's what makes you champion, Ron. That's why you're the champion.
We forgot I meant to bring these out during Drink of the Week. As you know, Brian, we went down to Philadelphia earlier today. We went you and me, an Asian supermarket down there. Quite a variety of snacks. This was one that just really piqued my interest. These are Lay's potato chips, Brian, with Ting Tao lager flavored potato chips.
Oh, that is one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite beers. Whenever I am at the Mandarin Palace in Gans Hill, I always drink that beer. So the very fact that's the beer where the guy was arrested for urinating into the vat of beer in the factory. Qingdao.
Does not
Ron,
smell like
you're
yours.
now eating the chips.
Not a lot of smell to the chips. Hold on. That is an interesting flavor. I'm not sure.
Well, no. Keep eating, but at some point I'm going to need you to describe to me how is this different from an average Lay's potato chip?
So there's definitely a flavor pattern there. That warning: cancer and reproductive harm. Well, now they tell me it's almost got like a sweetness behind it. Very unusual,
Sure.
but tasty.
Sure.
It's almost like you're getting dip on your chip already.
Well,
Which,
I remember
back
one time in college, you got dip on your chip. You're
Anyway.
like, hey Dick. Yeah.
They get stuck though. Oh, they get stuck in the teeth a little bit. All right, Brian.
Well, that is the whole point. By the way, with the Never Gonna Get It beer, I can't drink a second one. I wanted
Why is that?
another one. It's so, I don't know whether it's the acidity of the fruit or whether it's the sweetness, but I don't want another one. I want a crisp, clear beer.
You want something crisp,
keep going,
quenching.
Yeah, I want a beer.
Let's see. What other stories do we have this week? We were a lot of people don't realize because we're humble. Brian just walks off during the middle of the podcast. But there was the Riyadh Comic Festival over in Saudi Arabia these last few weeks. A lot of comedians taking flack for it. Brian,
Sure.
You didn't even bring it to me. That's
No.
how much of a principled individual you are.
No, I rejected it.
Saudi Arabia reached out to you directly, said
Yep.
we'd like Ron and Brian at the Riyadh Festival, and you said no, doesn't matter what that money is.
No, I mean, listen, I love doing comedy festivals. I love getting the word out on the street about the show. I love educating people. I love expanding our base. But I'll never forget 9/11. When you look at the 19 terrorists that hijacked those 4 planes, a compelling majority of them were Saudi Arabian. These are the people that attacked America. These are the people that killed thousands of Americans. These are the people that killed the Washington Post journalist Khashoggi.
Very good.
Ooh, I am not going to take blood money to go out there and perform for the Saudi Arabian royals in a way for them to whitewash. Pardon the phrase. Maybe it's brownwash, depending on the color of their skin. But I am not going to brownwash history and allow the Saudis to get away with 9/11. I will not do so.
Interesting phrasing there, but I think some of the people that performed, very surprising. Bill Burr going over there, but I think Pete Davidson was the name that people his name popped up because his father, NYC firefighter Scott Davidson, he was killed in the 2001 attack at the World Trade Center.
Scotty. Yep. Beam him up. They used to call him Beam him up Scotty. And ironically, on 9/11, he was beaming down Scotty as he went down the 85 flights of the World Trade Center. Nope, not. We're not doing that joke right now, Ron. Because I put it in the Google Doc. You didn't scratch it out, so I thought that was a green light on that one.
I didn't see that one. I did not see that.
God damn it, Ron. God damn it.
Anyway,
Janelle with the boo. With the boo. There we go. Even Dom said, "Come on." Johanna says, "Boo."
Well-deserved boos. You earned you earned those boos, my friend.
Listen, these are, I hate to see that, go after Pete Davidson. He's the guy that's performing at this comedy festival. Don't go after us for pointing out the hypocrisy of it.
There you go. Brian, you're a world traveler, culture.
Sure.
Would you go to, let's say, Italy, for example, and try?
I'd love to go to Italy.
And try to order an Americanized Italian dish over there.
Listen, no. I would go over to Italy and I would order whatever is on the menu. I believe, and I know this sounds ironic, when in Rome, I believe it's the phrase that gets passed around. When you go to another country, you go to another town, you order exactly what it is that they are offering. You don't go to a restaurant and try to sit there and go, well, when I go, no. You order what they're offering.
So this woman, Gabby Donahue, posted
Wait a second. Did
TikTok.
you say Gabby Petito?
No,
Gabby Petito is
Gabby
posting.
Donahue.
I thought she died out in Arizona.
Anyway, her father and her, they were over on a family trip in Italy. He tried to order chicken parmesan at a restaurant in Italy, even going as so far as to pulling out pulling out his phone and pulling up a Google image of the Olive Garden chicken parmesan at a restaurant in Italy. The waiter's response, besides looking at the photo in disbelief, the waiter said, "Only in the States. It doesn't exist in Italy. I don't know what it is. On the pasta? No, that's horrible."
God damn it. I love that. American arrogance is just so out of control. The fact that somebody's going to go to Italy and try to order an Olive Garden meal. The very fact like chicken Alfredo doesn't exist over there. There's no Alfredo sauce. It's oh God, that's amazing. Utterly amazing. I love it. I wish I was there to watch it.
So
that reminds me of the time, Ron. That reminds you of the time that you and I were in Vegas. It was many years ago. We were in Vegas and we went to a seafood boil where they put where you get the bag with the sauce and they put the different various. What? Can you hear me?
No, it might be my headphones are cutting out.
What? I can hear me fine. I think it's ironic that your earphones cut out when I'm talking about the embarrassment of you going to a seafood boil and ordering fucking fried shrimp and French fries. You goddamn embarrassment of a champion. We went to a seafood boil where they put all your seafood in a creamy sauce with the various spice levels. And you get the potato and you get the corn and they just mix it up and they steam everything and it's nice and fucking tasty. And then they bring you out the bag. They give you the gloves. They give you a bib. They put the bag in front of you and you open it and the steam rises out and you just get everything. You get the whole cacophony of flavors going on. And then you look across diagonally and there's Ron, your podcast champion, eating a little basket of fried shrimp with French fries. What a fucking embarrassment.
And a little coleslaw in there.
Oh, it makes it worse. Never. Unforgivable, Ron.
Fair enough. Brian, we lost some famous people.
Ooh, some good ones. We lost some good ones this week.
Over the past week. First, we're going to go. Brian, were you ever a Moody Blues fan? You don't strike me as a guy that would be a Moody Blues fan.
You know what? I probably like some songs by the Moody Blues. I just don't know any of them.
Okay.
I probably know the songs. I just don't know that that's a Moody Blues song.
Like Nights in White Satin?
Nights in White. Oh, I love that song. That's a great song.
All right, well,
that's Moody Blues?
That's Moody Blues.
No way.
So
I would love to see that performed live.
Well, John Lodge, a singer and bassist of the Moody Blues during that classic era, died at the age of 82 this past week. He was with the band for more than 50 years, passing away surrounded by his loved ones and the sounds of the Everly Brothers and Buddy Holly.
So as he's dying, they're putting on music for him to listen to?
Apparently, and not even his own music. Like if I was
Let me ask you a question, Ron.
Yes.
You're on your deathbed.
Right.
Hypothetical question. We hope you live forever. You're going to live forever because you have so much money coming in from the merch store that you are paying for just the highest quality of healthcare. You are hypothetical. You're on your deathbed and the doctors say he has 1 hour left to live. What music do you want on in the background?
I don't know that I necessarily want music. I think maybe I want a montage of all of our championship debates, specifically the times that I would demolish you in those debates. So an hour, I probably wouldn't be able to fit all of them in because I would usually just destroy you for about an hour straight each debate. But I maybe like I'll talk to the moderator and I'm sure she would be happy to put together my deathbed debate remix.
Go fuck yourself, Ron.
Next up, listen, we don't normally cheer for passings
No,
here on
no,
Celebrity Obits,
no. We
but
don't celebrate.
this past week, former Lost Prophet singer Ian Watkins was stabbed to death in a prison in northern England, where he was serving a 29-year sentence for child sex offenses. Emergency services were called after he was attacked by a knife. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and British police have arrested 2 men on the suspicion of murder. Back in 2013, he had pled guilty to 13 charges, including trying to rape a baby, sexually touching a 1-year-old, and encouraging a fan to abuse her child and make child pornography. I can't think of anyone that really deserved death more than this gentleman.
100% agreed. Actually surprised that he had not been killed earlier in prison.
He made it 12 years, which is surprisingly long for
Yeah.
a child sex offender. They
Sure.
really tend to kill those folks, rightfully so. But he made it 12 years, but he's gone.
He's gone. Good. The world's a better place. Anybody that, think about it. You've got a musician reaches out to a fan and says, hey, bring me your baby because we're going to molest. Just a terrible, just disgusting piece of shit. Should die. Glad he's dead. Should have happened earlier.
All right, and this was a great loss for movies, film, and stage. Diane Keaton passing away at the age of 79. I mean, the laundry list of hits that she was in. She was in the original Broadway production of Hair. She was in all 3 of The Godfathers. Play It Again, Sam. Annie Hall. Reds.
She was Woody's muse. She was Woody's muse for a generation.
Let's not forget
problematic.
Mr.
Little problematic
Goodbar,
at times.
Crimes of the Heart, Manhattan, Baby Boom, Father of the Bride. I mean, geez. She was, dare I say, the Brian of Hollywood. That versatility that you show in the podcast world, she showed in Hollywood.
I mean, when I was 12 watching Annie Hall masturbating furiously, it was only the scenes that she was on. This is, listen, people, everybody that lives dies. We've not had any human being live eternally. We've not gotten to that point. So until it does, people will die. And it is just absolutely sad that Diane Keaton, a fine actress. I know she's gotten a lot of grief over the last couple of years by the far left, who are looking for her to vilify Woody Allen based on the charges from his wife's complaints, Mia Farrow. And she didn't. Diane Keaton stood her ground. It was just like, listen, the guy has literally changed American cinema. The complaints against him, that's a separate issue. Not popular amongst the woke DIY, DEI, FBI, CIA left. A problematic figure in her last few years. She stuck to her ground, had loyalty towards Woody. But I'm going to say, as an actress, Jesus Christ, this woman was incredible. She was an actress of our generation. Will sorely be missed.
What was your favorite film of hers?
Annie Hall. Listen, that was just an eye-opening movie. As great as she was in The Godfather, playing Michael's wife, the role she played in Annie Hall, which was really this woman who enters Woody Allen's life and just introduces him to the idea of a free-spirited woman who is not beholden to a man, was eye-opening to a generation of men who were expecting a woman who wanted to be, a homemaker. And Annie Hall was not going to be. She wanted to be a singer, and she saw a man as being part of her life, not her life. And you saw that in the movie. It's just incredible.
Nice. I would agree with that. I mean, she was in a ton of great ones, but that for the time, for the era, Very groundbreaking at the time.
The scene where she sits there and describes him as she was like, oh, when they go back to her family in Wisconsin, and she's just like, oh, Grammy Hall's gonna love you. She would describe you as, like a real Jew. And then they're sitting at the dinner table and everybody's looking around and they show her grandmother looking with like concern at Woody Allen. And then they go to somebody else at the table and they go back to Woody Allen. And he is decked out in the Hasidic Jew with the curls and the hat and the all black. Oh, Jesus, just had me roaring, still does to this day. I know the joke is coming and I'm still going to laugh every single fucking time.
There you go. Well, we will miss her. Well, maybe we'll do a live watch of one of her movies.
Oh my God, how great would that be? That's why you need to join the Patreon, people.
Let's sneak one more story in because we did get kind of a chuckle of this. So this right here, this is Melissa Martin. She was a substitute teacher in Vermont at the Bartown Middle and Elementary School campus. She apparently the other day had done so much cocaine, was so drugged out in class that she mistook a student for her dog.
What?
So
what? How much? I mean, she does look like she has a nose for cocaine. I mean, that Roman hook on that nose is pretty fucking severe.
So she was, very obviously arrested. She had cocaine in her jacket. And she pled not guilty to the charges, released on her own recognizance, prohibited that she does not re-enter school grounds.
Jesus. Looks like Cloris Leachman from a early 1970s Mel Brooks movie. It's a harsh look, I'm just going to say. Not saying that she's not a beautiful woman, because I'm just, like all women are beautiful, Ron. All women are beautiful, all shapes, sizes, and whatnot. That's a harsh look on the eyes. Ron, I'm going to tell you something. Yes. What a pleasure it is to have spent the past hour with you. If only there was a way that you and I could spend more time together today. I mean, if there was a way, I wish you would tell me all about it.
You mentioned our Patreon, Brian. If people join our Patreon at cultofronandbrian.com, if they join our Patreon at the $10 a month level or higher, you get access to our live After Dark episode, which is going to start at 9:30, so just about 28 minutes from now. And it's the saucy, the spicy stories that YouTube doesn't want out there for free. Although you got a little saucy this week, Brian. You got a little spicy during the main show. That's just a little tease, just a little tantalization as to what you can expect on After Dark. So plus, there's a ton of merch. There's a lot of other great stuff that you can get for subscribing at various levels of the Patreon. And of course, don't forget, as Brian has mentioned, our web store, cultofronandbrian.myshopify.com. Brian had his trucker's cap on earlier. If you were on our social media this week, you saw Alan Robert from Life of Agony showing off our Cracked Barrel parody t-shirt.
Legend.
I was wearing that shirt. We were walking to the bar last Sunday to watch the Eagles game. I'm walking down the street. There's some guy doing his yard, and he turns off his edger, and he's like, "Hey, Cracker Barrel, they changed that logo, and then there was so much fuss about it, they changed it back. That's what that shirt reminds me of." And I was just,
I hope you told him that you changed that logo one more time.
I'm like, "Thank you, sir," and just walked away.
Thank you, sir. Please put your edger away, because did you tell him that you were going to edge after your wife went to sleep?
I did not. I did not mention that to him. All right, Brian. Well, it's been great being back together. Me and you
so good.
Doing the
so
show
good.
like the people love. So if you're not a Patreon member, we still love you. Not as much as we love our Patreon subscribers.
A little bit less.
So we will be back next Sunday night, regular time, 8 o'clock. But if you do want to join the Patreon, enough time for you to join tonight and join us later on for the After Dark.
Yep.
Brian, anything else before we wrap this episode?
Goddamn, this is exactly why I wake up and just do my thing. Joe says spicy show. Oh, it's coming because the alcohol is kicking in. I'm gonna get sloppy soon. High expectations for AD. I may show my dick. I mean, it's going to be that kind of Patreon, Ron. I'm just giving you a warning. Just giving you a warning, buddy. Maybe I might do another shot at Crown Royal. I don't know.
All right.
It's going to be that kind of night.
Don't you have to go to work tomorrow?
No, took the day off.
Oh, well, that's right. Tomorrow is Columbus Day.
Columbus Day, yes. Are you working tomorrow?
I am working tomorrow. But
I mean, what you call work is kind of like work. Don't
forget, folks, leave smallpox out for Christopher Columbus tonight in honor of tomorrow being Columbus Day.
Sure. Of course.
All right. Anything else, Brian, or should we wrap this episode up?
I love you so much, buddy.
Love you too, my friend. We will catch you all next week.
Thank you for joining us for the latest episode of The Cult of Ron and Brian. A non-tax deductible contribution can be made by subscribing to our Patreon. Visit cultofronandbrian.com and click on Become a Patron. We'll see you again next week.